Hello, Consciously Parenting family. I'm Jen Kobrick. I'm a holistic family consultant with the Consciously Parenting Project. And on today's Conscious Coffee Break, we're going to talk about congruence. And specifically today, I'm going to talk about congruence for parents between what's inside and what's expressed on the outside. So the reason I'm talking about this is because a really common question that I get from parents is about how much of my feelings should I share with my kids? Because a lot of us grew up in families where basically adults don't ever have feelings, or if they do, they don't ever let kids know about it, except when they lose it, right? And so some of us may then come to this work with an idea that means we should never be showing any feelings to our kids, or we may be really uncomfortable with the idea of our kids seeing us having big feelings, or even sometimes with having really big positive feelings. Or we may be worried about, if I let my kid know that I'm angry, am I going to do something I don't want to do with that anger, like hurt them or yell at them? And the other part of this is that we don't want our kids to take on our emotions, right? It's not their job to hold space for our feelings. We need to do that with other adults. And so that may make it feel like, well, I can't let them know that I'm upset, or they'll feel like they have to fix it, or they have to hold me while I cry or something like that. And at the same time, we want our children to grow up with the ability to feel and appropriately express all of their feelings. And that's hard to do if what you see being modeled is somebody not showing any of their feelings, hiding all of their feelings. So ideally, we want to model for our kids having the full range of human feelings and expressing them in appropriate ways that are not harmful to ourselves or to anyone around us. And when we can't do that, then it can be helpful to name what's happening to our child and go get help elsewhere from an adult who can be the support we need in those moments. So it's totally fine to say to a child, even a very young child, I'm really angry right now. And that actually feels better and safer to a child than to be told that nothing's wrong when something's wrong. And that's, a lot of us, or some of us in any event, grew up in households where one parent was scary when they were angry or was often angry. And so anger can feel really unsafe, even as an adult. And it can feel like, well, I felt scared as a child when my parent expressed anger in my direction. And so if I tell my child I'm feeling angry, then they're going to feel scared, right? And so we have an opportunity to give our child a different story about anger, to give our child an experience of anger that is not being used in a destructive way. And I'm sure that most of us have had the experience, even as adults, of somebody, saying, I'm fine, everything is fine, when they're clearly not fine, right? When the inside and the outside don't match. That's that idea of congruence, is that the inside and the outside matching. So when the inside and the outside don't match, it feels really wrong to another person. Even as an adult, if somebody is giving us that, everything is fine, but their body language, their facial expressions, their tone, all of that gives us the sense that they're not fine. It feels very scary to our nervous systems. It feels very wrong because our nervous systems are going, okay, is there something wrong with me that I think they're not fine? Is something wrong with them that they don't know they're not fine? Is there something else? Is it not safe right now? And, or are they about to explode? We kind of don't know what to make of it. And that's adults with fully developed nervous systems. For children, especially very young children, and especially when it's a caregiver, so it's somebody that they're dependent on, they're very, very attuned to our emotions and to our nonverbal expression. And the younger the child, the more so, because very young children don't even really, they don't have the words, but they're born with an ability to read the nonverbal communication. So when what we're telling them doesn't match what we're feeling, that feels really unsettling to anybody, but especially to a child. So when we can express, this is what's happening, this is what I'm feeling, and not make it their problem to solve, not make it something they have anything to be responsible for. And we can say that explicitly. We can say, I'm feeling angry and I'm going to get help from other adults. This is not your responsibility. But it's okay to let our children know that we're having feelings and to allow them to see that congruence of what's on the inside matches what's on the outside. And it's our work to get the help we need, the support we need from other adults, so that we're not putting that on our children. And it's our work to do to uncouple the feeling from the action, so that we can have our feeling and express it in a way that's not destructive and that's not harmful, so that the impulse to yell or to lash out, or whatever the impulse might be, that is separated from the feeling, so that we can share, I'm feeling this way, or even I'm feeling really angry right now, and not take it out on our child. So this is a really big thing, and the actual doing it is the tricky part, right? There is a piece of understanding what the goal is and of why it matters and of what's happening in everybody's nervous systems, but the real trick is in actually applying it, actually doing that. And if you feel like you need some help with the actual doing that, then please send us a message and let us connect you to all of the resources we have. You can also look in the links on the description for this episode. We have free community healing story circles. We have a free community Facebook group where you can post about what's happening, and we can always connect you one-on-one to a holistic family consultant who can listen compassionately without judgment and be that layer of support for you. All right, have a great week, and I will see you next week on the coffee break.